Sri Ajit Kumar Dovalji, our National Security Advisor, Brigadier Chikara, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose INA Trust, Surya Prakash Ji, Chairman Subhash Chandra Bose INA Trust, Ms. Renuka Madan, Sri Ankur Pathak, Chairman Garuda Publications, and other friends who have all assembled here for this virtual release of this book. I am pleased to release the book, Netaji, India's Independence, authored by Dr. Kalyan Kumar De, an associate member of the Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose INA Trust. This book is a valuable addition to the vast published works on India's freedom movement in general and also the contribution of Sri Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose to the freedom struggle in particular. Netaji was a charismatic leader and one of the towering personalities of the freedom movement. His patriotic zeal and unbridled love for motherland made him to resign from the coveted Indian Civil Service, ICS, and return to India from England, where he was sent to appear for the ICS examination. The prominent role played by him is well known. It's quite well known. So are the other aspects of his life, like his perspective on how to attain freedom. The enforced exile in Europe, his escape to Germany after his arrest, the operation of Azad Hind Radio in different languages, and revival of the INA. What is important is to remember his vision and legacy of building a strong India. Even though there were so many different approaches to the goal of attaining freedom, the vision was common. We have to understand this. The passion and the commitment was the same. The roots may have been different, but ultimate goal was the same. All the illustrious names that shine brightly during the country's freedom movement had a deep, unwavering reverence for their motherland. They connected every person very effortlessly with the trials and tribulations of fellow citizens and wanted to secure freedom in order to usher in a better life for the people. Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose is a part of this long lineage of charismatic leaders. His dynamic and courageous leadership during the freedom movement will continue to be a major source of inspiration to the people, particularly the youth. He revived the INA and made it a force to reckon with. As the documents in this book indicate, the British were quite alarmed at the rising tide of public sympathy for the INA. As the British government intelligence report had mentioned in 1945, quote, the situation in respect of Indian National Army is one which warrants disquiet, quote. Clearly, Netaji's leadership of INA gave it a credibility and a stature that made the British take serious note of this organization. It is one of the main contributing factors in the country's freedom struggle. Today also happened to be an International Youth Day. On this occasion, I call upon the youth to take inspiration from the lives of Sri Subhash Chandra Bose and strive towards building a new India, a strong, stable, prosperous, and egalitarian India. Even 7 decades after independence, the country continued to face challenges in different fronts. And the youth should be in the forefront in building a new India, which is free of poverty, illiteracy, corruption, caste, gender discrimination, and where every Indian has equal opportunities. That should be our aim and our focus and our effort. Netaji's strong personality was rooted in his belief that India had a glorious past and a bright future as a nation, as a civilization, and as a culture. That was his conviction. He was proud of India's civilizational values, history and culture, which he felt formed the bedrock of our national pride and collective confidence. He also strongly believed that the great nations shape their own destinies, and he sought to rekindle the spirit among the people. At the same time, he believed that we must not insulate ourselves from other contemporary and younger cultures, as exposure to them will help in enhancing our strength and resilience. Subhash Chandra Bose was of firm conviction that we are all Indians first, and the sub-identities based on religion, caste, and languages must not allowed to override the primary Indian identity. Netaji believed that for democracy to thrive in free India, our citizens must imbibe the values of discipline, responsibility, service, and patriotism. This concept of Mother India is uniquely Indian cultural heritage. We must preserve it, we must propagate it. Patriotism and sacrifice for the well-being of India is therefore an essential duty of every Indian citizen, above any other consideration of religion or ideology. Netaji had abiding hope for the future of Asia. He believed that Asia shares bonds of soul and spirit through cultural, religious, and historical mutuality, and India's social, economic, developmental, and strategic interests are closely intertwined with Asia as a whole. While advocating strong pan-Asia cooperation for collective security and prosperity, he had visualized India as a strong pillar of Asian strength and prosperity. Netaji and other leaders of his time tapped into the hidden capabilities of each Indian. They galvanized the forces of indomitable courage and sacrifice, of self-confidence and self-reliance to secure freedom. After independence, we are pursuing national development with the same inspiration. Dear sisters and brothers who are watching this program, India undoubtedly has made tremendous progress since independence in various fields and has emerged as the fastest growing economy. Unfortunately, the COVID-19 pandemic has disturbed the momentum and impacted our economy of India and other nations. This is the time for all of us to display greater resilience and defeat the virus and overcome the setback caused by it. India is uniquely blessed as compared to many other nations because of the youthful population. 65% of Indian population is below 35, and 50% of Indian population is below 25. It's a great demographic dividend. The potential of this demographic advantage has to be fully tapped, and the forces of growth have to be unleashed to quicken the nation's progress and build a truly Atmanirbhar Bharat. It is certain that the post-pandemic world will not be the same. While COVID-19 has brought into sharp focus the need for coordinated and concerted action globally to prevent the outbreak of such pandemics in future, it has at the same time also underlined the urgency for countries like India to build a resilient economy by becoming truly self-reliant. The basic aims to be vocal for local. By reducing dependence on imports, promote Indian brands and products, create consumption-led growth through domestic manufacturing, build world-class infrastructure, make Indian industries globally competitive, ensure ease of doing business, attract foreign investments, and develop India into a fully developed, interdependent, and self-reliant economy. Atmanirbhar does not seek to erect trade barriers or promote protectionism, but rather tap India's inherent strengths and make various sectors globally competitive. That is the aim of Atmanirbhar Bharat. For the past many years, India has become a leading global player in IT and pharmaceutical sectors. We need to fully tap the potential in other areas like manufacturing world-class medical devices. I'm happy to note that the government have recently announced an import embargo on 101 defense items as part of the measures to promote self-reliance. The import of the items from artillery guns to radars would be progressively prohibited till 2025. The launch of Atmanirbhar Saptah beginning from 10th August is also a welcome step. The need of the hour is to give a major push to the Atmanirbhar campaign by all the stakeholders, including the private sector, academia, through research. Before concluding, I would like to stress the need for our younger generation to be aware of India's history, its ancient culture. There is a need to provide a comprehensive, authentic, and objective account of the historical events. Also, the stories of sacrifice and valor by freedom fighters from across the country should be highlighted in the textbooks. The present book contains some interesting documents that throw light on the great contribution made by Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose to the freedom movement. Netaji is the name which inspires everybody. The very picture of Netaji inspires patriotism, discipline, courage, conviction. So the children should be taught more about freedom struggle and the contribution particularly made by people like Subhash Chandra Bose, the role of INA. All these things should be brought to focus for the new generation to understand what was exactly the freedom movements, how many shades were there, what are the contributions made by different people. I personally feel that we often read of freedom movement means we confine it to few names. There are many who made sacrifices. We call them, some of them as regional. No, they are national. Heroes may be belonging to a particular region, but at the same time they made great sacrifices in fighting against the foreign rulers. So I personally feel that our history books must contain more about the sacrifices that are made by people like Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose and others. I am very happy to release the book on Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. Let the children read different aspects, contributions made, enhance their understanding. That is what is needed. The children should be told of various facets of the personalities of these great people and also various stages of the freedom movement and contributions made by different people. I would like to compliment Dr. Kalyan Kumar De, who is instrumental for this book, and also the publishers of the book, and also the other members of the trust who all have taken initiative in bringing out this publication. Thank you very much. Namaskar. Jai Hind.